Okay, thank you. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for coming. Thank you for those watching on the webcast. I'm Dan Thomas. I'm the Communications Director and spokesperson for the President of the 70th session of the UN General Assembly, His Excellency Mogens Lykketoft. We've heard some very strong statements this morning in the General Assembly, just behind where we're standing, from the President, the Secretary General, and the Member States on the need to learn from the recent and very serious allegations against the President of the 68th session. Without further ado, let me ask Mr. Lykketoft to brief you on the steps he is already taking to strengthen the institution and integrity of the office. Mr. President.
Thank you, Dan. You may have listened already to the discussion in the General Assembly, but in an effort to enhance the role, authority, transparency, and effectiveness of the UN General Assembly and the Office of the President of the General Assembly, I have asked Member States today to continue their work on revitalisation of the General Assembly during this ongoing 70th session. With this in mind, I recently reappointed the ambassadors of Croatia and Namibia to continue the work as co-chairs of the mandated ad hoc working group on the revitalisation. During the past session, the working group focused on 4 thematic clusters and identified ways to enhance the Assembly's capabilities, which I detailed in my remarks this morning. I would, however, take this opportunity with you to draw attention to the 4th cluster, which relates to the running of the Office of the President of the General Assembly, a matter which has taken on even greater significance with the recent events relating to the President of this 68th session. As I told those of you who were present at my press conference on October 6th, the same day that the news of those events broke, I was and remain deeply shocked by the accusations. The United Nations and its representatives should be held to the highest standards of transparency and ethics. When I took office as President on the 15th of September, I committed to uphold these principles during my tenure, and I am firmly committed to do so. The Office of the President is subject to serious checks and balances, including the terms of briefings to Member States, audit on regular budget, and the Office PGA Trust Fund, and reporting through the GI revitalisation process, etc., etc. Like any institution, however, there is always scope for improvement, which is why I have asked the GA through this discussion on revitalisation this session to give further consideration to the strengthening the independence and the integrity of this office. Transparency, however, is also a matter for each and every president, and from the outset I have taken a number of steps to support the objective. In addition to that, today, on a new transparency page on my website, I am making available an information note on the Office of the PGA that builds on the PGA handbook. And I wish also to set out 3 principles of the conduct that I and my office will adhere to during the presidency. First, integrity and impartiality, representing the Assembly in an impartial manner, avoiding conflicts of interest, ensuring gender and geographical balance in my office. And second, transparency and accountability, providing information about official travel, finances, engagement, communicating openly with the membership and external audiences, and complying with all relevant rules and procedures. And third, professionalism and effectiveness, running my office effectively and using the resources efficiently, keeping appropriate records, and ensuring a smooth transition to our successors. I know there is a great interest of all this also in the membership. I met, for instance, this morning with a number of ambassadors who supported very much the initiatives already taken and had inspiration for the further process, and I welcome that very much. Over the coming month, I'll be listening further on intently to the views of member states on how best to further revitalize the process of the work of the Assembly. Let me just add, if you go into the website and look at the document we put on this morning, you can see reflections on the background. You can see how it has evolved with the mandates for the PGA over time. It's much more workload now than it was originally because of several resolutions and other mandates being given to the PGA over time. And we have a statement on the rules and regulations about the regular budget and the trust fund to support the office of the PGA, and a number of other details, which I, of course, would answer any questions about as well. Thank you.